Hi, it's Monica here again from Foodicious. I am going to show you how to make a sort of keto friendly low carb pastry which you can use for all kinds of different things. It's a savoury pastry, so we'll follow on with sausage rolls in another video. But first of all I want to show you how to make the pastry. The watchword here is cold, so I've put the mixer bowl and the paddle in the fridge to make them really cold. You need 210 grams of fibre flour. Now I buy mine off Amazon and it's low carb. This is a great flour for all kinds of sort of low carb things, including the keto yeast risen bread. 90 grams of almond flour. That just goes in there. And half a teaspoon of, I use pink salt, but you can use any salt you like. So just put that in there. Just give it a quick mix, combine everything. Then you also need 210 grams of unsalted butter, which you freeze solid, and then using a big grater like this one, sort of big cutting bits. You need to grate that into 2 different containers and then freeze that again. So it's roughly like 2/3 and 1/3. So we're going to put 1/3 of the butter into the dry ingredient. Working quite quickly because we just want everything to stay nice and cold. Combine that into the dry ingredients so that the butter pieces are really well coated. Then in the fridge you should have a jug of cold water. If not, just get some water as cold as you can out of the tap and then stick some ice in that to get it really cold. And then we just put this on slow and add water very gently a bit each time. You'll begin to notice a change. It will look more sort of breadcrumby. And it'll start to combine and come together a little bit. Another great test is to lift the paddle and then get your hand in there and you can see that's sticking together. So if you can get it to come together, which I think we can, then we can take that off the mixer. And just quickly, because like I say, the watchword here is cold, just get it all to come together as a dough. If you're having trouble with that at this stage, you can just add a little bit more water like that and just knead that in. This is going to be chilled down in the fridge before you do the next stage anyways. And then it does need a little bit more water. So that's come together quite nicely. Let me just move that mixer for you guys. And you can see I've got a nice little dough ball there. So just to make life easier at the next stage, we'd like a nice sort of rectangular square kind of shape. So then this needs to be chilled down again. So we're going to wrap it in cling film. And refrigerate for the next stage. So that'll go in the fridge for at least 30 minutes, if not a bit longer. Or if you were short of time, you could just leave this like overnight until you can do the next stage. For the next stage, we are going to roll the rest of the grated butter. We're going to roll into the pastry to give it that lovely sort of flaky pastry feel. So here's a quantity of dough that's been started and been refrigerated overnight, and then the rest of my grated butter out of the freezer. These little plastic boxes are brilliant, by the way. They're a couple of quid for 12 in a supermarket. So if I can get into it. You'll need some fibre flour to dust the surface of your worktop, or if you're lucky enough to have a pastry board, use that. Maybe one day. And then obviously it's freezing cold, so it's going to be a little bit tricky. First couple of rolls. So I just squash it, move that up for you. And then we've got to roll it reasonably thin. If you start feeling stickiness, just redust your rolling pin and the pastry and the surface. It's always worth having a palette knife handy so that you're handling as little as possible as well. Now I do like thirds folding, which I will show you. So put some of your grated butter in there like so, and then we fold it over once into the middle and then over again, and then turn it through 90 degrees. Squash your ends so you don't lose any of that lovely butter, and then start rolling again. If you find it's a bit dry, you can try bringing it back a bit just with a tiny sprinkle of water. Don't go crazy, otherwise you're going to end up with a horrible soggy mess. more butter. Fold, fold, turn through 90 degrees. If you lose bits, don't worry, just shove them back on there and then work it back into your dough. It'll all come together nicely in the end. So carry on rolling, putting the butter in, folding until you've used all of the grated butter up. Okay, I think I've done 4 book folds. I just didn't want to bore you with the same thing over and over again. So this is the last one. Now you're going to notice there is a bit of butter showing through here in places, but you can just do another couple of folds to try and incorporate that a bit more. I have had this, but I don't. It's unlike conventional flaky or puff pastry. It doesn't seem to leak out, so I don't know if that's the almond flour or the properties of the low carb fibre flour. But for some reason it doesn't seem to leak out, so I wouldn't worry too much. But I will do another fold. Okay. This is looking pretty much how I'd expect it to look, and I'm pretty happy with that. Now this would do 16 medium-sized sausage rolls, which we'll show you later. Or you'd probably get 2 pie crusts out of that, so you can either, I'm going to be using all of this pastry up in the next video, so, but this will freeze nicely for up to 7 weeks, so it's sort of a really handy thing to be able to make in advance. So, and as a pie crust, I've got a really great recipe for fish pie, which I'm going to show you. It's like a fish pie in a cheesy sauce. It's really lovely. And I've managed to sort of keto that up. So with this, we just neaten up the edges, more cling film, and then that's ready to either go in the freezer if you're storing it, or in the fridge overnight until you're ready to use it.